Yo, and welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Mostly Movies podcast starring Nick and Christian. He's Nick. I'm Christian, coming to you live from the Airbnb from an undisclosed location for about the 14th week in a row. But today, guys, the movie we are mostly discussing is Novocaine, starring Jack Quaid. And, brother, you need to sit down for this. Are you sitting down?
Is it who you said it was when we were watching it?
Nope.
Wow. I had a feeling it wasn't. But
It
then
wasn't.
you kind of convinced me it might be.
Well, it's starring Jack Quaid and Amber Mid-Thunder.
What?
That's
the
right.
Girl?
That's the girl, dude.
Wow.
Amber Mid-Thunder. And I just have a question for you, brother. Have you ever experienced Mid-Thunder?
I don't know. But what I do know is you're starting to look a lot like Wilson from Home Improvement. Your face is halfway off the screen.
I'm just saying, in 7th grade, you never experienced Mid-Thunder?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No.
Great! So it's also starring Ray Nicholson, and also...
So it is Ray Nicholson. Okay.
It is Ray Nicholson, and this is a Nepo baby off.
Yes,
it's a Nepo baby off.
Yeah. Say that 3 times fast.
Nepo baby off, Nepo baby off, Nepo baby off.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby. Go ahead.
Just to cleanse the palate. Cleanse the palate. Cleans the palate. It's also starring Matt Walsh. And if you don't know who that is, you're going to find out later. But it's one of Nick and I's most favorite people. But anyways, before we get into all of that, please, as always, head over to thescreengods.com for all of Nick's latest movie reviews and our full category of podcast episodes. Catalog, thank you, of podcast episodes. You guys can find it all at thescreengods.com. And of course, you can also find us on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, IG, and X for more clips, reels, and other fun content. Nick.
Dialed, baby. That's a hell of an intro. You are dialed, especially on X. Please follow us on X. Been
Please
posting things on X. You're a floating head. Fix your camera. There we go. All right, here we go. Christian's connectivity issues. We're live.
No,
we're live.
We're okay.
All right, we're okay. We're good.
Are
you telling yourself that? We're okay. We're okay.
I think so. Just got a new haircut today. So I know I look like a little boy, but that's how most I definitely do. This is not a first day haircut, you don't think?
No.
First
day of school, is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. All right, well, good. That makes me feel great.
It's coming across on camera just fine. You look like it.
Okay, so the movie today that we're mostly discussing is Novocaine, and there's a little bit of a backstory to this. Was it last week? No, last week we saw Last Breath. So 2 weeks ago, half of us saw Novocaine, my brother Nick, and the other half of us did not see it. And then Nick, today, why don't you give us a little summary of why we had to watch Novocaine today and not the other movie?
It's so funny, man. So we have 2 theaters in our radius that we go to, and usually when whoever's buying the tickets, which for a while was me, Christian's done it the past couple of times, which so I feel out of touch and out of control, and bad things happen when Nick is out of touch and out of control, and that's what happened today, where Christian bought tickets yesterday, sent me a very clear and concise message. A confirmation of the time and what theater. And I replied with, indeed. So he tells me, we're good. Today rolls around, and I immediately leave my office. There's traffic from my office at that time because it's basically rush hour when we do this on Tuesdays. And there's been a couple of times where I've been late to the theater we go to the most, which is Doco downtown. That's generally where we see most of our movies. So I was all proud of myself. I got there early and on time. It took me an hour to go 10 miles, which is insane. But I was prepared and I was ahead of it. So I pulled into the parking garage and I text Christian and said, all right, I'm here. Just let me know when you're rolling up. He's like, no problem. I'm at Chili's across the street. I'll be there in a minute. Great. 5 minutes later, 5 minutes later, he rolls up, says, all right, I'm here. And I said, prove it, because I was standing at the stairs of the parking garage waiting for him, and I didn't see his car pull in, and I didn't see him walking around. And he calls me. He calls me, and I pick up, and he's like, "Where are you at, doggy?" And I'm like, "I'm at the bottom of the stairs in the parking garage." And he goes, "But where are you at?" And I was like, "Am I not saying it right? I'm at the bottom of the stairs of the parking garage." And he goes, are you at the wrong theater, bro? And I immediately went, shit. So I went to the wrong theater. We were supposed to see Black
which thank God we didn't.
We don't know. We haven't seen it, but it's apparently
it's gotten which I'm kind of sad that we couldn't do an episode on why it's so bad. Yeah, we will see.
We'll just see it next week. No problem. So, but anyway, because of that, we had to pivot. But Christian did not get to see Novocaine when we all did, and it was a fun watch. That one's getting absolutely praised as it should be, because it's a ton of fun. And I saw it for the second time. So we had to pivot to that, and I had to make my way back the direction I just came to get to this theater where Christian was waiting.
Right.
Anyway, it was a hell of a time, but just the arrogance on me when Christian called and said, where are you at? And I said, am I not saying it right? Just absolute arrogance.
But also because I knew when you texted me, I'm in the parking garage, I immediately knew you were not at the right place. And so I immediately started doing the gritty and a touchdown dance.
Shut up.
Because
I was like,
I'm going to slam dunk on this dude. And I did. I got to. I was like, no, but where are you geographically right now? And you go, and then you realized it, which is, but then you were like, and this is where you're hypocritical too, but this is where it saves you, because you and I both are very well documented on this program as hating the amount of previews, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But in this case, it saved you. And even not even then, you got there at basically before it started, and it still was another fucking 35 goddamn minutes of previews, but still hilarious. And I was just at Chili's chilling. But anyway, so the long-awaited Novocaine, I was very sad that I could not see it when you guys did, and an early release, which is very cool.
It was very cool. Yeah, it was actually 2 weeks before it actually
that makes it, and it just adds, because I've been a part of this thing too. I saw do you remember the movie The Watch with Ben Stiller? And
yes, yeah, it was one of your favorites. You liked it a lot.
It's still one of my favorites. Well, I was invited. This is when I would have to imagine when they just started doing this, because I was still in high school, and this is when the Boobies movie theaters were still around. So the same movie theaters we were still at today, the Boobies were still there.
We got to clarify what he's talking about.
The tits.
No, just no.
Well,
not adult theaters, not adult movie theaters, which is what he sounds like he's saying right now. No, they're called dome theaters, but yes, they looked like a set of boobs. That's for sure.
Yeah,
they were awesome theaters. They were huge. They were auditoriums. They were fantastic.
They were huge, and they weren't well thought out at all. It was kind of like the Winchester Mystery House, those theaters were.
They were just kind of plopped like dollops of sour cream around.
Yeah.
Some you would have to go through one to get to another, but then some you would just have to go outside and wander around to get to the next one.
They were nuts, honestly, and just the layout. Well, they were built literally in the 60s.
Probably. I can't fact check you, so you can say whatever decade you want.
Okay. They were built in the 20s, and
right before the Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah. No, I legit think probably maybe 60s is too long ago, but probably actually, you know what? Around then, 60s, 70s, because I could see it, because that's when theaters, the drive-ins were starting to become pretty big, and just the way it was kind of constructed, I could kind of see that's what they were going for, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, it was a
I got it
staple.
right here. I got it right here for you, brother. Many people
Okay.
remember the theater fondly because of the giant domes, not boobs, domes. They were opened in 1967, so you
All
absolutely
right.
drilled it.
I was right on the money.
Fun fact, I saw the original Jurassic Park at
In
those
the tits?
theaters.
At the tits?
It was so good.
At
That was
the
when
tits?
Dolby Digital surround sound had just come out.
Okay.
And the whole surround with the T-Rex and the whole
Sure.
all that
Yeah,
stuff, dude. It was wild.
Did you see that in theaters?
In theaters, dude.
You
Those
saw
were the
Jurassic
first-
Park in theaters?
Michael Crichton, baby. That's right.
Yeah, I would
It
have
was
been.
outstanding. Nothing
I
had
would've-
ever been done like that before. It was crazy. It was so good.
No, 100%. That's
Yeah,
crazy
it's
that you
wild.
saw that in theaters. I can't even
Yeah.
remember.
With our parents, which we never really went to movies, so that was wild.
No, I do remember definitely Star Wars, Phantom Menace. I remember that in theaters. I remember
The
Matrix
second round of Star Wars.
Well, yeah, obviously not a fucking New Hope, dude. It was the one with Jar Jar fucking Binks. But I remember that in theaters. And then I remember the only other one, or no. I got two more. I remember The Matrix Reloaded. And I remember that because my dad took me to it and there was a sex scene and he put his hands over my eyes.
How old were you?
I think 10.
All right, that tracks.
Yeah. 10 or 11, and then he put his hands over my eyes, but I knew it was going on, dude. I mean, I knew it was going on, but no. And then, dude,
Did he cover your ears too?
no. Just cover my eyes.
You have no idea what's happening.
No, but I got it. I gathered from the leading up to it. But then I remember we went to see Wedding Crashers. Mom and Dad took me.
They
and
took
Carly,
you to see that?
Me and Carly to see
In the
Wedding
domes?
Crashers. Not in the domes.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't
I
in
was
the
going to say, because
domes.
there's a lot of boobs in that movie. The whole
No.
opening
No,
half
yes.
hour.
No, exactly. So we had heard so many good things about it that
it was hilarious.
Yeah. So Mom took us to see it, and we walked out after the initial.
Right before it got good.
Yeah. Right after the initial scene of tits, and Mom demanded it. And she got a refund, which was hilarious. But
that is so funny that she thought she had no idea. The parents just we don't know
so
what.
Funny.
Mom, it says rated R right on it. What did you think?
Well, and also I think Kenny, our cousin, had said a lot about it. I think enough people had said something about it. Anyways, it was really funny. Yeah.
Classic. Well, all right. Anyways, we need to get to the pod. We got to talk a little bit about Novocaine. I'm going to set the scene. Most people probably know what this plot is by now. And we saw previews for this 3 months back, like a while back. And I was immediately intrigued. Yeah, I was immediately intrigued because I was like, it is a unique storyline that I had not seen done before, which actually surprises me because now that it's out, I'm like, yeah, obviously that's a great story. How has that not been done was my thought, which
there was can I say this? There was a James Bond villain, and I think the movie was, I want to say No Time to Die or something like that, where the villain could not feel pain. And that's the only time, and that was in the early thousands, I think. And that's the only time I've ever seen it done.
Yeah, and I've
never
even seen all the Bonds, so I can't even speak to that. But yeah,
you sure have it.
It's surprising. But anyway, so I was immediately like, yep, that sounds really creative. And as we've said on this pod many times, there is a real lack of creativity in Hollywood right now. It's the same thing over and over and over. And especially when you're going to venture into comedy. And in this case, I wouldn't call it romantic comedy, but any sort of
no, definitely related,
not. Any sort of loosely related, you're like, all right, you have to get creative, and so it looked creative even in the limited trailers that we saw. So I was excited about it, and it is. We'll get into our review of it, but it did not disappoint, and I've now seen it twice, so I can tell you it's definitely obviously more fun the first time for a lot of reasons, but the second time was still a really good watch. So let me set the scene. Jack Quaid plays a character, and I've already forgotten his freaking name. What's his name again? The character's name? I'm so bad at that.
Novocaine.
They just
don't
call
know
him
either.
Novocaine.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyway,
I literally don't know either. I
his
want to say
nickname-
Jack. I want to say his name is Jack and everything.
It's not Jack, but yeah.
I know it's not Jack.
Anyway, Novocaine is his nickname, which you find out in the movie. Anyway, he meets this. I'm going to make this really, really quick because you don't need a lot of context for this. But he meets one of his coworkers. He's an assistant bank manager. He's in love with one of his coworkers, and he's got a crush on her. And she kind of opens the door to meet him and finds out.
Well, they have a great night out. They have a great drunken night out. They hook up. Right.
Yeah, but he's like a loner. He doesn't really have friends or family because of his condition and stuff. So he doesn't date. He doesn't open up to people, whatever. So he opens up to her. They share a moment. They share a night. She teaches him all about how to taste food and how to feel things. Which is hilarious. Yeah, which is pretty funny. And there's a lot of things like that we'll get into when we do the review of the movie. But anyway, so the plot line is that when they go to work the next day, there's a bank robbery and she gets taken. And in his newfound excitement of feeling, both in his heart and in his pants, I think, he chases her and he's compelled to chase her and try to rescue her. But he's not a brave guy in any way. But the whole concept of this plot is that he cannot feel pain because that's his condition. I forget what that's called.
Well, it's not a real condition, so you're all good.
It is a real condition, actually.
This happens? Did you
100% a real? I've already known about this condition. It's been on TV.
Really?
So this is crazy that you didn't know that. Now, to what extent and did they go extreme with this movie? I'm not sure.
Definitely.
I'm sure that they did. Well, sorry, I'm sure that they did, but I don't think it's that far off because it is the condition. Again, I can't remember the name of it. I can Google it while we're talking, but basically there's a nerve in your nervous system. It shuts off the signal to the brain that says, ow, I'm in pain. You basically cannot feel pain because if you don't know, pain is actually a brain response. That's all it is. It's the brain signal has to fire. Otherwise you don't feel it. So he doesn't have that. So anyway, because he doesn't, the rest of the plot is he's trying to save her. There's a bunch of action in it. A lot of funny things happen while he's trying to save her. And then there's a plot twist, which I'm not going to ruin that because I think it's still early enough for people to go see it. So I'm not going to ruin that. Too. But a lot of fun. And ultimately he gets the girl in the end, which that's not a real spoiler. You can see that coming a mile away. So that's it. But a lot of fun things happen along the way. So that's it. What do you got? How did it hit you? I mean, I've seen it twice now. So your expectations and what did you think?
Well, I thought it was probably the best comedy I've seen in, I can't even tell you how long. I thought Jack Quaid was awesome. I think I could.
What is happening right now? What, I can't take a drink of my water? Is that frowned upon?
No, you can't. But Jesus Christ!
What? It's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's not a Stanley or anything.
What is it?
It's called a Zulu. Sponsored by Zulu.
Jesus Christ. My God.
So Jack Quaid.
Oh my God. You must be rehydrated now. Yeah. So it was a Nepo baby off between Jack Quaid and Ray Nicholson, which I had no idea Ray Nicholson was in this movie at all until I saw. Yeah, and you'd already seen it, so
and I had already seen it.
You're too busy.
He looks different, dude. He looks different. The only time I've ever seen him in anything was in different. Smile 2. In Smile 2, and he looks very different.
Yeah, he doesn't have as much as the Jack Nicholson blockhead.
It's the hair. Yeah. Actually,
the kid should have started Minecraft because he has a fucking blockhead.
Here, let me show you guys. Let's go Ray Nicholson so you guys can see what we're talking about. This is Ray right here.
Yeah, I mean even more of a square head.
Yeah, in this, and it's in the hair. But in the new movie, where'd it go? Because it was just there. They just showed him from today's movie. That's so weird that it's disappeared right now. Here, I'll just type it in. Yeah, so that's what he looks. This is what he looks like, and then this is what he looks like in the new movie. And so it was very, very different.
Yeah, different haircut for sure.
Different haircut and just kind of a vibe.
And so my question that I posed to you was, who acted better? Because you had Jack Quaid, who He's been in so many movies now, and I know they're pushing him on us, obviously, and he's going to have, these roles. But after this role, I could kind of see him in that like serious action movie type of role. And then you have Ray Nicholson on the other side, who had to play that role of like crazy, unsustainable kind of like psycho guy. And I thought they did both. I thought they were both great. But it just kind of surprised me because I was like, they're pushing Jack Quaid on us, obviously. I was like, he's kind of the funny guy. But that last movie we saw him in was
Companion. Yeah.
Companion. It was him playing kind of a psycho, serious role. And then we have this today, him playing like kind of an action hero. So I'm like, man, maybe they got this one right. I don't know. I'm all about Jack Quaid. Can I say that? I'm all about Jack Quaid.
I love that you always ask for permission on what you can say on our own show.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite things that Christian does. Am I allowed to say?
I'm just saying, is it reasonable at this point?
I think it's first of all, the Nepo baby thing is real, but it's funny that you're saying that because I had this thought. There's a lot of people. Let's start with Ray Nicholson. Ray Nicholson, the character that he played is kind of, as you say, he's kind of like the unstable kind of. I wouldn't even call it psycho. It's almost sociopathic, but he's like unhinged, but in a funny way. And I've seen people play that role in a lot of movies, right? Over the years. But usually it's not and I wouldn't even call it Ray Nicholson. He's not a headliner. I mean, the only thing he has going for him is the name. He hasn't been in that much.
Oh, no, but he's obviously on the up and up.
He's on the up and up now.
They're obviously implementing him in these movies, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
He's 38 years old, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, he should be in movies. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's interesting. But
at what point does Jack Nicholson just push a button and he goes, activate, and then their kids just go, time to act? You go, what do you have? How do you have the perfect face for it? And you're just was he working at In-N-Out? Has he been pushing fucking animal fries for the last 16? He's 38 years old.
Somehow I doubt that.
I do too.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I respect him more or if it changes anything. I mean, but what I could tell you is I thought his version of it, he was really funny.
Oh, he's great.
I thought he was really good. And I was thinking to myself, yes, other people could have played the role, but even before I knew it was Ray Nicholson, which is the test, I didn't know it was him.
Right.
Until you brought it up. But in the first one, everyone in the theater was kind of like, this guy, who is this guy? He's killing it, right?
So he crushed it.
And also the Nepo thing, sure, but also he's been around it. He's got one of the best people to possibly learn from ever. Jack Nicholson's won multiple Academy Awards. So yeah, he probably should be pretty good.
Yeah, but also, why are you born with that face?
Do you like the face or don't like the face? I can't tell based on your comments.
I do like the face, but I'm just saying it's so predictable.
Yeah, I mean? That's why they changed the hair, I think. they gotta do something else.
I guess so, but even still, the hair is perfect, which also makes me so mad. Their hair is always perfect. They can style their hair. Doggy, I cannot do the things that they do with their hair. You look at Leo DiCaprio. 1 month, he could shave his head. The next month, the better example is Brad Pitt. This guy's hair changes on a dime, dude, and it all looks good. It doesn't matter. It could be short, it could be like mine, it could be spiky, it could be jizzed on. It doesn't matter. It all looks fucking great.
Wow, glad we're live. Can't edit
we're
that
not.
Out. I think what you're
but it's
confusing
true.
Is hair. Well, you're confusing hair and just general handsomeness.
No, I'm not.
When you're generally handsome, you can do whatever. Isn't that the whole point?
No, it's not. And I'll give you an example. George Clooney.
You don't think you didn't like the Caesar haircut from the late 90s?
No, but that's all he's ever done is the Caesar haircut. He's never he doesn't do what Brad Pitt does. Grow it out.
Well, the Legends of the Fall long hair? No, he hasn't done that.
Yeah, no.
But he's had different hairstyles.
Not really, dude. But he's still handsome as hell. No, definitely not. He's never had long hair in any movie. Bring up one movie he's had long hair.
Well, I can't bring up the movie, but I can certainly bring up a photo. I got it right here. Here we go. George Clooney, long hair. Bam! Look at that. Look
Augie,
at that
he was
luscious mane.
17. He was 17 years old then.
He looks like he's 45. Look at these.
He looks like
He
he's
probably
30.
was. He probably was 17 though. That's the hilarious.
Yeah, 100% he was.
On-screen evolution. Yeah. Wow.
Damn,
But this
dude.
is, you're right. You're right. Like, this is what he's mostly done, is this one here, which is, I mean, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah, dude, he's the most handsome guy. But he doesn't have the range with the hair.
Here we go. There it is. Look at that.
Yeah, dude. He was fucking...
No, you're right. He doesn't have the range.
No, in that picture right there, he was fucking selling... Yeah, dude. Well, right there, he was fucking selling dime bags. And then the other one, he was selling...
I think he was buying them, for sure.
Probably buying them. And the other one, he was selling mortgages at 30% that no one could afford.
And this, in this one, he's selling ShamWow towels, I think, in this one.
He's still handsome as fuck. Jesus Christ. I don't even know how we got on this tangent, but...
I'm trying to remember the Caesar. This is the ER
Dude,
Caesar.
he was on yes, that show.
ER. Yes, that show. What are you talking about?
I was trying to find... I was trying to say 911 or something.
Wow.
I was thinking about a number.
Couple of decades
Doggy.
off. Anyway, yes. What were we talking about? Oh, you don't... Ray Nicholson's hair. Ray Nicholson's hair. And
no,
let's get back to...
saying,
let's get... Go ahead.
I was saying he did in this movie, because of his haircut, he didn't look great, but he still looked amazing. And I can't look amazing. And that's what I was saying. Okay, that's my point. I can never look as amazing as Brad Pitt can with any hairstyle. It could be spiky, it could be long, it could be medium cut. It doesn't fucking matter. They all look great, and it just makes me so mad, dude.
I think he's known for having one of the most asymmetrical, or not asymmetrical, symmetrical, whatever. He has like the golden ratio face.
Brad Pitt?
Like, yeah, where it's...
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like perfection,
it's fucking
or something
crazy.
like that. I'm trying to remember who has it. Like, there's a handful of like male actors who have it. Yep, Brad Pitt. Look at this list. Okay, this is fun. Okay, so let me just explain this real quick for the listeners. The golden ratio is a mathematical concept that's represented by a Greek letter, usually. I think, is this pi? Is that what that is? Where it's 1.618, but it's used to describe.
Well, I think mine's 3.1468.
It's used to describe.
I think it's 1 point
proportion.
And then... Okay.
Anyway, the point of it is it's supposed to be like the perfect ratio of things, and so they use it for face to say which is the most proportioned faces. So, there's 8 on this list of men. Let's see if you can
of the
guess.
Most.
Well, they're the highest ranking, and I will tell you.
Okay.
And so if the scale's on 100% golden ratio, I will tell you that the lowest on this list is 89.91%. And it's someone we've already mentioned. So you got to
the lowest.
It's the lowest of the 8.
Brad Pitt?
George Clooney.
He's the lowest.
Yeah, well, in the top 8.
Okay. All right.
So in other words, he has the golden ratio. He's in the list. That's why he's so handsome. George Clooney.
All right.
So now that you know that, give me the other 7.
8 guys that I would go gay for. All right, here we go.
Sure. Well, 7.
Okay, 7. Jesus, thank God. Holy shit. Okay.
And I'm going to give you a freebie here and say that there is...
Are they pretty recent? Are there some pretty recent?
Most of them are current right now, or at least
all right.
or at least within the last 15 years. Yeah, they're not. George Clooney is by far the oldest on this list.
Okay, good. All right.
I think there's one person on here I've never heard of. So
Jesus Christ.
He's not an actor, otherwise he would be on the list.
Okay. All right. I gotta go with Timothy Chalamet.
No chance. No.
He's not on there?
No. That guy's not even that attractive. He's a doofus, dude.
All right, you said it. I didn't.
Yeah. Bob Dylan. All right. All right, no.
Well, Jesus Christ. All right. Brad Pitt. Okay.
He's on there. Brad Pitt's on there. And remember, I said this at the top. I was like, that's what made me think of this, is I'm pretty sure he was on this list. He's 91%.
Okay.
But he's not the top.
All right,
He's
Matthew
like
McConaughey.
he's like number 5, actually. McConaughey's not on here.
Fuck, really?
Nah, his accent boosts his attractiveness. That's
John
what's going on
Stamos.
there. That's a really good guess. He's not on
That's
here.
probably number 1, honestly.
No.
No Stamos. Okay.
When you find out who's number 1, you're probably gonna be pissed. Actually.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna throw my fucking MacBook into the wall. All right.
I don't know if it's that bad. I just wouldn't have pictured it. Go ahead.
Okay, we got Brad Pitt. We got Clooney, right? Those are 2, right?
Those are 2.
Those are 2. Okay. Chris Hemsworth.
That's a really good guess. No.
My God, what the fuck, dude? Okay.
One of them is like, I'm like, really? Okay.
Tom Hardy.
Nope. So I'm gonna give you a hint because you're. So think
this
of
is
people
just exposing me.
All these people you really have attractive. You're really attracted to all these men. I get it. So the thing you're doing right now is you're just picking handsome guys. Try to think of symmetrical faces.
Okay. William Dafoe.
I have no idea who that is. Oh, Dafoe? William Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe.
Sorry, you said that really weirdly. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Okay. I got it. Will Smith. Jesus fucking
Will Smith
Christ.
has he's got big ears and stuff. He's not.
They're symmetrical. They're symmetrical.
I think one's a little off. I don't know. All right. I will give you
hold
a hint.
On. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to give you one name because we could be here all night. So I'm going to give you one.
Yeah, I'm not.
Bradley Cooper is on this list.
William Dafoe should be before that.
William Dafoe is 79. No, we're not.
Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper. We're talking about golden ratio faces.
All right.
Give me another guess. This is awkward silence on the live.
This is bad radio. It's bad radio. Okay, but so we have George Clooney. We have
Brad Pitt.
We have.
Go ahead. We have Bradley Cooper.
And Bradley Cooper. Okay. These are really famous people?
I mean, they're stars for the most part.
They're all A-list for the most part?
There's only one on here that's not an A-list. And there probably are. I've just never heard of them.
Who's got a great face?
Who's got a great face? Oh, okay. I've seen this guy's face before, but I would have never. I've never.
John Turturro. John Turturro.
I don't know who that is, but no.
Yeah, you definitely know who he is. But all right, give me the fucking list.
All right, I'll give you the list. Number 1 on the list, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
What?
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson is number 1 with the
most symmetrical.
Yep.
All right.
So he's number 1, and then followed by number 2 is Lucien Laviscount. You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, he won silver in the shot put in '96.
Okay, we won't even waste our time with that one. He's
I wouldn't. He cheated too.
Okay. No idea who that is. He stars in Emma in Paris.
Yeah, he's not really.
That's about
it.
Well. All right.
He fucked up.
Number 3 is Paul Mescal, which we know well because he's in Gladiator 2.
Right.
Yeah, he's.
What do you mean?
He's number 3 on the list.
God, if only his acting could be symmetrical.
I thought he was fine. All right, and then this is the one that
he's not fucking Russell Crowe.
No, who's not on this list, obviously. And obviously, this is a current list. You can tell it's a current list, other than Brad Pitt and George Clooney. So who knows? Maybe Russell Crowe would have been on it back in the day.
How is Chalamet not on that?
Because he's a poodle, dude. That's why he's a skinny, scrawny poodle.
Well, his face is symmetric.
I don't know. I don't think it is.
It's good enough for Kylie.
Robert Pattinson, Henry Cavill.
Okay. All right. Those are all great.
And that's it. That's everybody.
All right. Robert Pattinson's great.
All right.
Dude, have you been... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I will not take too much time on this. Take one guess at who do you think has the highest in the women's category?
Robert Pattinson.
No, women.
In terms of the girls?
Yeah. Who do you think has the number 1 golden ratio face?
I thought you mentioned all men.
No, wait, I did. I'm giving you the women's list now. There's 2 lists. There's women.
Wait, if I was a woman, who would I pick?
No, jackass. Which women actresses, stars, have the golden ratio face? But you only need to just give me one name. Who do you think has the most symmetrical face?
I thought you. I don't remember you naming any women. I thought you only named
I
men.
didn't, you idiot. I'm asking you.
Okay, all right. I thought I was confused. I was like, did I miss some women here? All right,
No.
the most symmetrical, I gotta go Salma Hayek.
That's a really good guess. I had a huge crush on her. No, actually, the
She's still
person who's
hot.
on this, she's
Anne
not, she's gonna
Hathaway.
be hot until she's 90. That's also a good guess. No, I don't know. Have you ever heard of Jodie Comer? I've never heard of that person. She's the number one. I
No.
have no idea who that is. Number two is Bella Hadid. I think she's a model, right? I think.
Yeah,
I'm
she
pretty
ain't.
sure.
Yeah.
Actually, before Bella is Zendaya, which I can see that she has a very
Yes.
symmetrical face. It's just symmetrical. That's all. All right, we're out
Yeah,
of time
okay.
on
I can
that.
see it. I can see it. But
All right, let's get back to the nepo babies of the
Jesus.
movie. We went off on a tangent. Ray Nicholson's hair is
just went on
bugging you.
we just went on a hot girl tangent. That's all we did. It's like, who's the hottest
Actually, you went on a hot guy tangent. You did.
Yeah, I did.
Christian just exposed himself for 19 minutes. So funny. So Jack Quaid, your question originally half an hour ago was Jack Quaid versus Ray Nicholson. Like you said, I think they were both great. I think they were both kind of challenging in their own way, so I can't even really compare them.
Well,
I think
yeah.
that
Go ahead.
Quaid had way more physical demands on him.
Yeah.
In the movie. So a lot more of that going on. Versus Ray Nicholson, it was just kind of a lot of just a lot of dialogue.
Yeah. I guess I could I guess the only knock on the movie I could say is it probably should have ended 20 minutes earlier. And I think they could have tied it up. I didn't think they needed the ending fight or whatever, which you'll see if you watch it. I don't think any of that was necessary. I thought it was a little bit too long, if I could say anything negative about the movie. And that's probably the only thing I could say negative about it. And Jack Quaid, his performance as a comedic actor and also as like doing action, I was super impressed by. And then Ray Nicholson, I think it's kind of like Jack Quaid's going to get all these leading man roles, where Ray Nicholson, I think, is going to get these kind of supporting actor roles. And I think neither of those are negative things. I think they're both going to be great in both. And I hope Ray Nicholson is in a leading role soon, because I think he's has the chops to do it. And I'm just like optimistic, I could say, about where movies are headed because of this kind of new crop of leading men, which I'm kind of surprised that I could say that about. But Novocaine is such an old school, and when I say old school, I mean 10 years ago type of comedy, action comedy, which you just don't see anymore at all. And so I hope this movie has done well enough to where we get back to making action comedies like this movie, because I it just hit all the notes that you want it to hit. And again, for me, because my attention span is, the size of a fucking peanut now, I thought it was a little bit too long. But that's not a knock on it, really. But I just thought the writing, the direction, how it didn't take itself serious at all. It was just that old school type of silly action comedy. And I hope other fucking movies, and I hope it does well enough again, that other movies and production studios take note of it and continue to make movies like this, because it was just a good fucking time. That's all I can say. It's a good fucking time.
That's very succinct. I mean, I couldn't not really articulate it any better than that. Like we've said many times on this pod, is we're go to the movies to be entertained, and you're entertained really from the moment it starts. But it's not even that it's like in your face, like we saw Love Hurts about a month ago, and that was good, similar kind of like trying to get back to it. But this is way better, because that one seemed like it was rushed a little bit. It was like you just get thrown into it. The plot is there's zero character depth in that movie. In Love Hurts, I mean, not zero, but it's not like this. This one, You get to know the character. They do a great job with the screenplay, maybe is the best way to say this. They do just enough time to get you connected to the character and all the characters, really. Like you, the girl, the
Yeah.
guy, even his client, the that he's is talking to, that he has to foreclose on his
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
Like they weaved the screenplay, the timing, everything was great. And I do get your point about the movie's going too long, and I think some of that is like I think sometimes they just can't help themselves. It reminds me of like a football, like an offensive play caller in the football is like, I have this play in the playbook and I just want to get it in there. I can't not get this play in the game. I gotta see it on the field. And I think sometimes these directors, they have this thing, and I don't want to spoil it, but the thing that you guessed would happen at the end. I feel like they had that, and they're
Right.
like, I got to get this in. I have to. It's too good.
Yeah.
I got to get it in.
And,
So
and if I could knock anything on the movie, I thought, without spoiling too much, I just thought the basis, the foundation for the entire thing was pretty fucking flimsy and could have been done better, I think. And if you watch the movie, I think you'll see what I'm saying. Like, although I thought the character development was good, I thought the motivation of the main character was not deep enough to be doing everything that he was doing. I guess, does that make sense without spoiling it?
it does make sense. Although
I
I think
thought
that ties into what you were saying, though, is I think it didn't take itself serious enough to even warrant
right.
that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think it redeemed itself. Because if it had done that, then I would have thought it was stupid.
Right. Yeah. It would have been
That's a great
disjointed.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But because it did not take itself that serious and it was more of a comedy than it was anything else, which I
Right.
think is the most important thing, was it is more of a comedy than it's a comedy with layers to make it work.
Yes. That's
And
it.
that's
It's just
that
a good comedy, like you said. It's just a
yeah,
good comedy.
yeah, but there was a couple ways there was a couple pitfalls where it could have fallen into and it didn't, which I think is good. But yeah, I just thought, and if you see it, I just thought the main foundation could have been a little bit stronger and it could have added to the hilarity of everything and kind of made it over the top, but it's probably the funniest movie I've seen in, I don't even
In a
know.
while. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
in a
trying
long
to
time.
remember. I'm trying to remember, and yeah, your point about like, and it reminded me, like you said, like there was things about it that, like, I don't even know if it's rated R. It felt like a
Well, it had to.
PG-13 movie
No, but with the
in some
gore.
ways.
With the
I
gore, it
guess the
had to be.
gore, but the way that they handled, I mean, there was cussing and stuff like that, but the way that they handled, I mean, even the gore, I guess you'll call it. I mean, there is, I think as an adult, we're so desensitized to it. So
Yeah,
you
dude.
can't,
We're
it's like, it doesn't even face us now.
Yeah, a guy getting a compound fracture and then using his own forearm bone to then stab a guy in the neck. Yeah, I think we become a little desensitized.
Yeah. But actually, that brings up a few things I want to call out that were also good. So, number one, there was a lot of things like what Christian just described because of his condition and things, where there's a lot of kind of like moments of like, it makes me uncomfortable, but in a fun way. There's a couple of times where I'm like, I can't even look at that. I can't watch it, but it's all in fun. Like, I'm kind of looking out of the corner of my eye, like, I don't want to see it, but I kind of want to see it. That was a lot of fun.
And it almost, like, the comedy made the gore watchable,
Yeah,
which
palatable. Yeah.
palatable, which is pretty rare too. Where because I didn't really
Right.
look away at all, which is funny that you did because you'd already seen it. But it is that kind of gory. But I am that desensitized to it too. But also they, and that's another way they did a great job, was making it so funny that when the outrageous gory incidents happen, you kind of just you cringe, but you kind of laugh at it at the same time, which is really fucking hard to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what made it
Yeah,
such a good. Yeah, they did such a great
yeah,
job with that. So yeah, all of that, and then I've told many times on this pod, and I'll say it every time until it continues to not be true. Is the soundtrack was great. The intro
yeah,
soundtrack,
yeah,
the exit soundtrack, and it
yeah,
adds to the playfulness of the movie.
100%.
Again, didn't take itself too seriously, even in the soundtrack. But also, for example, in the beginning scene, the opening scene, they lead with the song, which I don't even know who the artist is. You'll probably know. It's "Everyone Hurts" is the name
Yeah,
of the song, which is
yeah.
a hilarious pun, and it sets the tone for the movie, which I didn't catch the first time I watched it because obviously I'm more like the first time you watch it, you don't. I didn't know it was a surprise, so I didn't know I was actually going to be seeing Novocaine. So by the time I kind of put it together, I had already I had blocked out the sound, like the words. But so it's little things like that, little nuances like that, where it's like, oh, that's playful. Like everybody hurts except for him. He's the only one that doesn't hurt, right? So good stuff. It was really good.
No, it was great, and I remember seeing the trailer in theaters, and I was like, they're definitely pushing Jack Quaid on us, and I mean, I remember seeing the trailer for Companion, I was like unsure about that.
Nailed it.
Yeah, not a A plus movie, but B plus, A minus movie, and then he follows it up with this, and then you have Ray Nicholson also on the other side, he's gonna do great things too. I'm excited. I'm excited of where these young actors are going, which is I can't say that about any other industry except, and there's a lot of people about this industry too, but I think as far as Jack Quaid, Ray Nicholson, and everybody else in the movie was fucking great. So I don't know. I'm just optimistic. It was just, again, that old school. I had fun at the movies, although I had to piss 5 times, but
I know you missed 2.
I'm sure I missed a couple, a couple good jokes, but there were so many that it was fine. There were so many good jokes.
We didn't. We got to move to our what stinks segment, but let me show. Christian wanted to talk about one of our favorite cameo actors. Not even cameo, a bit actor.
Matt Walsh.
Guy here, Matt Walsh.
Amazing.
No wonder he was also in Veep. I didn't realize that.
Dude, he's amazing in Veep.
Yeah.
Which, if you've never seen Veep,
yeah, sorry. Don't confuse this Matt Walsh with the political commentator.
Oh yeah.
Not the what is a woman guy.
No.
This guy though, we and Christian first got exposed to him in The Hangover, which is one of our favorite comedies of all time. And for him to pop up and that was great. As soon as I saw him, I was pissed that you weren't with me the first time.
I know.
I can't believe he's not here for this.
I know. Anyway. He's great in The Hangover. If you've never seen Veep, watch that show. It's a million jokes a minute. It's one of my favorite.
Lightning round.
Yeah. It literally, dude. You could watch any episode and laugh a million times. But yeah, anyways, Matt Walsh. I'm so glad he was in it. I love anything that he's in.
Yeah.
I want him to be in every movie. On any movie that he pops up in, dude, and like, what's a better career than that?
Especially because you don't have the pressure of being the leading man.
No. And he's also...
But people probably always want you, too. They're like, how can we get him in this movie?
That, and they just go, do what you do. You know what I mean?
Just freedom. Complete freedom.
They're never asking him to do anything above what he does. They just go, be you. Which, I mean, is an advantage and a disadvantage. But we love Matt Walsh. Love Matt Walsh. I couldn't tell you his name before this podcast, but now I know it.
I'm going to remember it now. I'm totally going to remember it now.
No, he's great. And if you've never seen Veep, fucking watch Veep. Ridiculous. But yeah. Okay.
What stinks this week, dude?
What stinks this week for me? Well, I got the number one thing is the Savannah Bananas.
I love where this is headed.
Are you privy to this? Have you seen this?
I know who they are. I've seen clips. Our godson went with our parents.
Took him.
Did you go to that? You were there.
Yep.
Okay.
I took him.
He went with you. Excuse me.
He went with me. We've seen them in person. And if you don't know what the Savannah Bananas are, they are basically and this is being complimentary. They are the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. But they're not, because they do anything but play fucking baseball. And the reason they stink this week, and I listen, I've been to them. I kind of get the allure, I guess I would say, but they just sold out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stadium.
What?
Yes.
Wait, they're playing on a football field?
They sold out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stadium, a football field, like the Oakland Raiders. They set this up, and I'm just being a hater at this point, because literally all they do is TikTok dances. They don't do anything of any athletic
fucking
fucking backflips. Even the umpires are dancing. That's all it is. It's just TikTok dancing in between every fucking inning. Somebody hits almost a home run. The guy in the outfield is doing a fucking backflip. It's fucking crazy. And now they sold out a football stadium, and I'm disgusted by it. I'm disgusted by it. I hate it. I can't stand it. I think it's the worst thing in the world. And I admit I'm being a hater, but and as someone who's attended this event, it's fucking disgusting, and they should all be put down. Career-wise.
Wow, I love it. It's like a rant. Maybe we change this into some sort of rant section for you. I love that a lot.
Well, I'm just saying it fucking sucks, and it's bullshit, and it's $400 a ticket, and these guys they're TikTok dancing.
Part. How much did you pay? I know it wasn't 400. Let's reel it in a little bit. What was the per ticket price to watch grown adults men TikTok dance? What was the going rate?
You're poking holes in my story because I had the hookup. And that's the only reason I went.
Or am I just peeling back the banana?
You're peeling back layers. I think, honestly, they were... Now, I got them wholesale, so let's not judge me.
Never mind.
Well, no, because my ex-friend, I should say, had season tickets to the River Cats. So they got early access to the Savannah Bananas. And I want to say they're about $40 a ticket is what I paid. And I feel like I was still robbed.
Too much. And the actual price is how much? Do you know?
Yeah, like $200 a ticket. It's fucking crazy.
Savannah Banana price. $200 a ticket is insane for that.
Average, I would say 200.
Depends. I don't know. It's a little bit all over the place. $35 for standard bowl seating and range up to $125 for premium experiences. So, but
I'm calling bullshit on that. And also, I could say this. By like the 5th inning, I looked at my nephew and I was like, "Are you good?" He goes, "I'm good."
You guys left?
I don't remember.
What kind of story is that?
No, we definitely left early. I don't think it was the 5th. It wasn't the 5th, but I think it was about the 7th. And I think my nephew was like, "Yeah, I'm good with this."
All right. Well,
but yeah.
That's a great call this week on what stinks this week.
They sold out a football stadium. What are we doing?
People love to see TikTok dances, I guess.
They can see it on TikTok.
Any baseball at all? Was there any baseball happening?
Yeah, they do. I mean, not really, bro. I swear to God. Yeah, there is scoring. And they play by the rules, but literally it's almost like Magic Mike. It's pretty much it. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it's just Magic Mike, but triple the guys. That's all it is. It's just Magic Mike and then them doing some sort of baseball activities. Yeah, but it's crazy, dude.
I mean, I see some person on stilts pitching. That's kind of crazy.
Who gives a fuck?
All right, so Christian, what stinks this week? Not a fan. He is not a Savannah of the
Play
Bananas.
Baseball, bitch.
Wow. All right, my turn for what
I'm not a
stinks
hater
this
at all.
week.
Go ahead.
So, if you follow us on X, at the Screen Gods, follow us on X.
It's all happening on X.
It's all happening on X. You just took the words right out of my mouth. It's all happening on X. I love it.
Let's see everything.
I posted this week a couple of things because can't count on Christian to post anything. But
I got the notifications.
So we follow. Ignored them. Wow. I got to carry everything. There is a film group that we follow, or Twitter account called Discussing Film, or at Discussing Film, giving them a free shout out on our pod. They had a source from Bloomberg.com that says 20% of children use their phones in movie theaters, according to a new study. To which I said, this infuriates me, in capital infuriates. So what stinks this week? Parenting is insane. I can't even believe that half of these kids have a phone. Let me just start there. Right. There's a certain age group where you shouldn't even have one. Well, let's assume it's not your own. Don't let them have yours either. You took them to the movies for a reason.
I was gonna say that number seems low.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's one study. It's probably higher.
20%, that seems very low to me, and I'll tell you why. Because tonight we saw a completely rated R movie, and there was a newborn baby
Newborn baby just
in the
hanging out.
theater just hanging out. And I'm not even and let me say this. I'm not trying to hate on it. You got to do what you got to do. And if that's your only night out and you got to bring the baby, you really want to see this movie, which I don't really think they wanted to see this movie, but they just want to see a movie. Then do it. I'm not hating on it. But all I'm saying is there was a newborn baby tonight in a movie, which I don't think I would do, but the overall, and I saw another study, I forget what the study was, but it was similar to this where no, it was a study of why people are not going to the movies anymore. And there's kind of a Venn diagram cross of what you're saying. It's just there's too many people on their phones. There's too many people who act like they're at home on their couch, which is verbatim what the article said, by the way.
Oh, you mean talking? Like we
Yeah,
saw all through the
just
month of
talking
October?
and
Yeah.
just, bringing a hummus plate or
What?
whatever it is they're doing these days.
Bringing a hummus plate?
A veggie platter or
My God.
I don't know, a beer flight. People are doing a lot of things these days.
Well, if you're going to the studio movie grill, you're definitely getting a beer flight.
Yeah, but that's kind of but so they were just kind of like touching on that, which was interesting, and it is kind of true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, as a parent and all this, and if our mom, who's one of our most avid listeners, she knows how I feel about this because I caught her on her phone in a movie, in a kids movie, and I let her have it, and she was mad at me because I called her out on the pod, and I'm doing it again. But there are just some things that you don't do, and in a situation like this, it's like, why are you? First of all, there's so many things that bug me about this. Number one, why are you paying for a ticket and not enforcing them to watch it? Why are you buying the ticket? You're just pissing money away. I don't understand that. Just don't buy them a ticket then. Don't take them if you're not going to make them watch it. The whole point of buying the ticket is so that they watch the movie. It's weird. So
Well,
that's
it's
that.
just weird. Yeah, it's just weird. The social aspect of it has, yeah, it's gone completely to shit. But
Well, again, so that's just one problem. Then there's the whole, okay, let's say, well, maybe I want to take them to a movie that I don't want them to actually watch, but I just don't have anyone to babysit them.
right,
Don't go.
exactly.
Don't
Don't
go.
go. And I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It's like when you're going on a first date and you have or you don't even know how much money you have in your checking account and you just take a girl out to a restaurant flying blind. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just hoping you have the money, and then when the bill comes, you're freaking the fuck out because you have no fucking idea what you're doing. But I have a really I this is one of my favorite stories, and I've never told this on a pod, but I'm gonna tell it. This is one of my favorite stories of all time about my father, who we went to go see a movie. It was me, my dad, my mom, my sister. I want to say a couple friends or something. But we went to go see a movie called Get Smart. And if you don't know the movie, it's with Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway. And I'll never forget this because it's burned into my goddamn memory. And it's like a spy spoof. It's like a James Bond spoof, pretty
Right.
much,
Right.
with Steve Carell. And there's a scene where Steve Carell is driving a car for some reason with like his boss higher up in the CIA, and they're on a car chase. And they're going on this crazy car chase, and they go off like a ramp or something, and they crash into a car that has this is going to sound crazy, but it has a fake fish on top. It's like a fake marlin on top of the car or something. I'm trying to remember here. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like a fake fish on top of a car. And I forget even what the line was, but so Steve Carell and his boss are like chasing the villain, and they go off a ramp and they crash into this car, which has this like fake fish that almost impales Steve Carell's boss or whatever. And there's this like some funny line. I can't even remember what it was, but my dad was laughing so hard through this entire movie that he would so when this scene happens, my dad is still laughing from the previous joke that happened. So he laughed through the next joke. So he didn't hear it. He didn't hear, and the entire theater is laughing, but he doesn't know why. And he's sitting right next to me, and the theater goes quiet, and my dad goes, "What did he say?" And I go, "What?" And he goes, he repeats it. He goes, "What did he say?" And I go, and I repeat the line to him, and I go, holy shit, there's a marlin fish.
You can see the marlin on our screen if you're watching the pod right now.
Yes, okay, you see, yes. And he goes,
swordfish.
Yes, swordfish. Holy shit, something like that. I forget the line. I think it's in the thing. But my dad makes me repeat the line to him twice in a quiet movie theater. In a completely quiet movie theater. He goes, "What did he say?" And I tried to ignore, I love you, Dad. I love you. But I tried to ignore him, and then he said it again. So I had no other choice but to just repeat the line, which is not even funny anymore. There's no context. There's zero context. So I just go, holy shit, there's a swordfish.
My God, but she probably is like, that's it?
Dude, like, I didn't know what else to say. I love you, Dad. It's one of my favorite moments in a movie of all time. Probably my favorite, but
definitely
anyways.
the funniest. That
Holy
is hilarious.
shit, dude. Holy shit. And the fact that you pulled up that Google image is so funny because it's
dude, not only did I pull it up by Google, I fast forwarded to the video and found it the exact moment.
Can you play it?
I can totally play it.
Play it. Fucking play it. Let me hear the line.
Okay, it's 2 minutes, so let's see if we can.
Well, you can just speed it up.
But it's the guy. I gotta see if I
can vamp. Oh yeah.
Hold on, I want to see if it's gonna. I gotta go into like, I don't know what this mode is. I think maybe I'm not gonna be able to get the sound. I think. Oh wait, yeah, I can.
But it's the guy. It's the dad from Step Brothers. I think
Alan Arkin.
Yeah. No.
No, Hangover. It's that guy from Hangover. I think it's Alan Arkin, I think.
No, I thought it was the dad from Step Brothers. I thought was the one. Yes.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's Alan Arkin. It is Alan Arkin. Yeah.
Look, it actually has it right here. It has the line right here. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I'll play it. Okay, here we go.
This is so good. This is okay. So my dad is laughing so hard from the previous scene, he didn't hear that line. So then I had to go, are you thinking, holy shit, there's a swordfish? In a completely quiet theater. A completely quiet theater. And then you know what my dad does? He doesn't laugh at all. Because there's no reason to.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any context for it. It's just not funny.
But just my dad, dude, I love him so much for him just being like, what did he say? And then me just ignoring him. And then he goes, what did he say? Even louder. And I go, holy shit, there's a swordfish.
That is definitely the name of this podcast. Oh my God.
I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad.
We'll have to tell more fun stories like that. We've got a few of those.
God damn.
Well, I think on that note, let's go out on top. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So go see.
I'm glad you found that. That's so good.
It's so good. Go see Novocaine, you guys, and tell us your thoughts. Comment on the pod, and again, follow us. Go to the thescreengods.com. Sorry,
you got it.
I fumbled that.
You got it.
Yeah, you got it.
You got it.
Thescreengods.com or on X. All of it's happening over at X. At
the Everything app.
And then definitely YouTube. Go check out our video pods on YouTube. So, all right, brother.
God damn, dude. This was a fun one. This is a fun one. I love you, man. Love you guys. Thank you for always the support. And please check out all of our websites. Check all of the social media. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you at the movies.
Ooh, I like that. That's good.
Mostly.
Love you, brother.
Love you guys.
What did he say?
What? Holy shit, there's a swordfish.